Caddo County. This storm is headed towards Chickasha. And let's see here. It's almost on the ground. Guys, let's keep looking for debris.
David, if it stays on its current track, it'll be in Chickasha at 329.
Okay, let's go back to, I'll tell you what, control room. Let's keep Jim's shot up. Let's keep his shot up. And it's almost on the ground. I'll tell you what, it is really, 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 really close. It's a notch away. It's a notch away from producing a tornado right here, live with Jim Gardner, and he's looking right at it. Okay, let's go back to, there we go. Here's velocity data. There's where Tom and Rob is. There's Surreal. Jim Gardner's right here, all right? He's right here looking right at it, and it's going to head east-northeast. It's going to go on top or just north of Surreal by maybe a mile if you're lucky, not very far at all. And then from there, it's going to head up towards or just north of Cement. And then from there, it's going to head up towards Chickasha. All right, here's your timeline right now. Here's your timeline. Cement at 3 o'clock.
Tom is saying it's on the ground.
Okay, let's go back to Tom. Tornado on the ground. Let's go to Tom Pastrano quickly here. Tom, go ahead. Give us an update. Take your shot. Go ahead.
Yeah, we do have a tornado on the ground. It's about a quarter of a mile from us. It's in the field. It was, I can't see it right now, but it was on the ground here for a few seconds. It's underneath the rotation. It's rapidly rotating.
Hey, Tom, hang on a second. Let's go back to Jim Gardner. Tell Tom he needs to bring his video down. He's too hot. Bring his video down. Let's go back to Jim Gardner. Jim, tornado on the ground. Let's take Jim shot full screen control room. Jim Gardner, full screen. Let's take it. There it is. And we've had a brief tornado touchdown. Jim, give us an update.
Well, that's right, David. It is on the ground, but it's very weak. It's very weak. The good thing is it's a very weak tornado. There was dust in the field coming up. We could see the condensation, the funnel there for just a minute. It's kind of in moving some grassland right now, but it appears like this thing is trying to grow, David. Right now, it's a very weak tornado, but it's looking at it, it possibly could turn into a very large tornado at any time here. The good thing is it's in some grassland. Like I said, grassland. There's some houses that's to the back side of it. Looks like to the south of it, to the southwest. It's going to be it's going to pass over them. That they're okay, but it's going to be a pretty much open field from there on out. But right now, it's just a very weak tornado, David, but at any time here, it looks like this could turn into like a pretty good-sized tornado. Right now, I don't see any debris in the air. I did see the dirt coming up off that one field, but you can see that this is forming live right now.
Right here.
Bob Mills, Sky News 9. We've been tracking this, and it's just going very slowly, but it looks like it's continuing to try to grow, David, here. So we'll just keep tracking it. Like I said, nothing in danger right now. It's in open field right now, grasslands and trees. And it's just kind of drifting to the northeast, and we'll just stay on it and keep you updated, David. Okay, all right, Jim. Let's just stay with this shot here just a second and see this collar cloud on this side, how much faster this is turning. This thing is far from over. It's starting to really ramp up. This is that area that I was talking about that I was really focusing in on. It's been on the ground at least once or twice, all right? It's been on the ground at least once or twice. And right now, I don't see any debris in the air, but I tell you what, it is a tree hugger. All right, this thing's a tree hugger. It's right there. It's right there on top of the trees. And hey, Jim, have Ben zoom in. Zoom into this tight. Go all the way in. All the way in, right here. Go all the way in. Go all the way in.
There it is. There it is. Tornado. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
It's on the ground now, David.
There it is.
It's on the ground now.
There it is. There's the tornado.
It's 4 miles northwest of Surreal, right on top of Highway 8.
Okay, Highway 8, 4 miles northwest of Surreal. You can see the condensate moving through this grove of trees right here. All right, there's the tornado. There's the tornado on the ground. And you'll start to see the trees here kind of whip around just a bit. There you go. Hey, Jim, hang on a second. Zoom in for me. Have Ben zoom in right here. Let's zoom all the way in. Zoom in all the way. All right, let's go all the way in. Take it all the way in, Ben.
Zoom in.
Take it all the way in. All the way. All the way. Go all the way in.
Keep going.
All the way in.
All the way in, as far as you can.
There we go. There we go. Okay. Now, we've got a home here. Here's our problem. Now, this is rural southern southeastern Caddo County, all right? It is rural.
Turn David's audio up. I can't hear him.
Okay, but it is rural, but the problem is that we have homes out here that are in the path of this. So, again, if you live north of Surreal, just a few miles, tornado on the ground, look at the condensate forming right here. See the condensate back in here forming? All right, there we go. Now it's getting stronger. Let's go ahead and have Ben. Let's have Ben zoom in one more time. Go ahead, Ben, zoom in on this. Control room, have Ben zoom in. Let's take a closer look. Here we go. Tornado on the ground. It's not very strong right now. Good news, it's not very strong. But see the condensate developing? And as the tornado strengthens, you'll get condensate developing like right there and right there. And this is the tornado, okay? Here it is. We've got little subvortices underneath the main cone right here. There's one. There's one. okay? But you can still see that people still live out here, all right? This is not just completely in the middle of nowhere. And there's a tornado. There it is. It's right here. And there it is. You can see the condensate there forming from time to time. There's the cone. There's the cone. And looking a little ragged right now. Looking a little ragged. It's beginning to tighten up and stretch out. So right now, it's still with us, but it is beginning to kind of tighten up, which means it's trying to go into its dying phase. It's trying to weaken. The tornado's trying to weaken. Doesn't mean it's going to happen quickly, but it's trying to weaken at least right now. All right? Let's go back to Storm Shield. Take a closer look. Hang on a second. There it is. It's roping out. There it is. It's roping out. Just what I said. Just what I thought. It's weakening. It's almost gone. How about that? There it is. It's still there. And we're looking on the ground for anything. And, all right, Jim, go ahead. Give us an update. You're just looking barely northwest of Surreal down in southwest Oklahoma. Jim, go ahead.
Well, that's right, David. You're exactly right. It is roping out. It is getting weak, but that doesn't mean it's going to be over with. As Ben goes in a little tighter here, you can see the little rope right there, man. As we zoom in tight on it, go ahead, Ben. Get in there on it. It's kind of cool to watch one of these things die, but that doesn't mean it's over with. Now, just ramp back up again, David, here, but you can see it. There's still a lot of rotation in that. It's not on the ground right now, but it is going back up. But that one funnel right there on the right seems to be trying to regenerate there, but that's what we're watching right now. But the good thing is it was a very weak tornado, but it had the opportunity there a couple of times to turn into a really big tornado, but now it has died, but it's probably just going to recirculate again, David. We're in a really good spot. We'll keep tracking it. Jim Gardner reporting live from Bob Mills, Sky News 9, back to you.
Yeah, and on a day like today, this is going to be a cyclic supercell, which means you get an area of circulation, you'll get a tornado. That's what's left of the original mesocyclone or the wall cloud. The mesocyclone's still here, but this is what was attached to that. This is all blown apart now, and then here's what's left, and we'll see if this can intensify. All right, this might be the new meso, or this might be part of the old one that's just kind of trying to stretch out here that just might completely go away. Well, it looks like it's trying to go away. All right, let's go to Pathfinder here. There it is. It's gone. It's gone. That's how fast it started. That's how fast it produced that tornado, and that's how fast it went away. You can see the hook on the backside. You folks in Surreal, you're fine. It's lifted north of you. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 miles. Like Lacey was saying, 4 miles northwest of Surreal, crossing Highway 8. It's headed up towards Verdon and Chickasha. Well, I'll tell you what, you folks in Chickasha really have to watch this thing, okay? And it's already produced at least a couple of weaker tornadoes. Nonetheless, tornadoes. We had it live to you on the air right here at News 9. Jim Gardner had it live. Tom Pastrano had it live as well. And again, it's moving off to the northeast at about 30 to 35 miles per hour. So right now, we don't have the whole storm tracked into Chickasha. We've got the hook, or the most dangerous part of the storm, which is right here. It'll take it through Verdon. And right now, unless it makes a right turn, if it turns right, it could turn into Chickasha. But right now, if I live in Chickasha, I'm watching this thing because there's no guarantee that it's going to stay on this red line, all right? Don't ever count on that. These things can turn right, or at the same time, they can turn left, okay? But right now, we've got it on this straight line. That's the way it's been doing. That's the way it's been moving, and it's going to head up towards Verdon. It's going to head and just barely pass Chickasha right now. But if I live in Chickasha, between Chickasha and Verdon, and then in between Verdon and, again, Cement, I am in my safe spot right now. I'm watching this thing, and I'm thinking, okay, we need to go to our safe spot, okay? Let's go back to Jim Gardner, and let's get a shot from him again and show you what the wall cloud looks like. And again, the tornado is now lifted. Let's take Jim's shot, control room, full screen here. And let's go back to Jim's shot, full screen. There you go. And Jim, the wall cloud, it's a far cry from what it was. Doesn't mean it won't cycle. These things can cycle. Just, they can do it one time, and that'll be it, or they can cycle many times and produce multiple tornadoes. We don't know yet exactly what it's going to do as this unfolds. But right now, Jim, good news. Give us an update.
Well, that's right, David. You're exactly right. The tornado that dissipated there has kind of moved up. That totally went away, but it's moved up into this area to the northeast of it. Now, we're sitting just about a mile on the west side of Surreal here, and you can see this other new wall cloud starting to form. Now, this is pretty ragged right now, but this looks like this may ramp up here again, David. And here in a few minutes, like I said, we're about a mile on the west side of Surreal here, shooting back to the west-northwest. You see a lot of action here. If Ben goes in kind of tight, it's starting to get a lot of action right there, David. So this could very well ramp up another tornado here just any moment.
Okay, Jim, hang on to this shot. Yeah, this is it. Here we go again. Now, this may be the tornado number 2 beginning to develop. Look at this. Look at the condensation now, or the cloud, or the water vapor. Look at the water vapor lifting. And what happens is, as pressures lower, all right, this is a mesocyclone up here. It's low pressure. As the pressure's lower, that begins to reach farther and farther and farther down towards the ground. This will start to lift, and then it will start to spin, all right? It'll lift and start to spin. Look how it's happening right here live. Look at it trying to produce another tornado right now. Boy, it's close. It's close again. Now, right now, if I'm looking at this in the field, Tom Pastrano's out there right now, I would not be thinking, okay, this is going to produce a large, violent tornado right now. Doesn't mean it won't. But right now, it's getting its act together. We'll see how intense it gets. Go ahead.
Tornado watch is coming for the metro.
There we go. Tornado watch now includes Oklahoma City, which, yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, so here we go. Area of rotation down here is getting stronger. This will probably be the second tornado of the day. Okay, let's go to Storm Shield 9. And again, let's keep Jim's shot up if we can. Here's the velocity couplet. This is a couplet. The green up against the red. This is a bad area to be in, all right? That's where the center of the rotation is, right there. All right, guys, let's back out just a bit. Let's back out of this. There's the center of the rotation. There's Verdon. There's Amber. Chickasha, you're still not out of the woods. I know the track is going to try to take it to your north and west, but not by far. But I tell you what, if this storm makes a right turn at all, there's a chance this thing could still come into Chickasha, all right? There's a real chance that it could still come into Chickasha. So if you live in eastern, southeastern Caddo County, western Grady County, tornado warning for you. Western, southwestern Grady County, tornado warning for you. You got to go to the lowest level of your home, interior closet. You got to go to the interior bathroom, and you got to get to that safe spot. You got to get to that safe spot right now. There's the hook. Jim Gardner's right here. And there's the tornado beginning to redevelop one more time. All right, let's go back to Jim Gardner's shot. There it is. Let's take Jim's shot full screen, control room. And there we go. Jim, there it is. We're going to have another tornado, it looks like. Be looking on the ground. Jim, go ahead.
Well, that's right, David. I'm just right over the top of Surreal right now, shooting back to the northwest, and I believe that is on the, I can't really tell, but I believe that's going to be on the ground here just any minute as Ben takes a closer look there. I'm like right over the top of Surreal. I can tell you right now, out in front of this, the rain is getting heavier, and we're starting to get a lot of cloud-to-ground lightning. So this is really turning into a major storm here, David. You can see just a picture from Bob Mills, Sky News 9. People have seen this develop live on TV from the beginning to the end right here, and it is now producing another tornado. It is definitely, it's on the ground now. I got debris. I got debris right there at the bottom, David. You can see it.
Yeah, there it is.
It's starting to go through the trees.
Yeah.
So we're starting to get some debris in the air. Right now, like I said, I'm right on top of Surreal, shooting back to the northwest right now as we track this tornado. Again, it's a very small tornado, which is good, but at any time, this can produce a very large tornado. And right now, it looks like it's kind of wanting to weaken a little bit, but it doesn't mean that it's going to ramp back up here at any time. Like I said, now I'm over top of Highway 277-19, shooting back to the west-northwest on the top of the town of Surreal here, and we'll just keep tracking it, David. It looks like it's starting to kind of dissipate a little bit, but again, as we see,
it's tightening up.
It's probably produce another tornado here anytime. There's still a lot of action in this whole storm here, so we'll keep you updated. We're in a great spot. Jim Gardner reporting live from Bob Mills, Sky News 9. Back to you, David.
All right, great job, Jim Gardner. Again, we've had yet another tornado of the day. It's weakening. It's beginning to fall apart. Now, to give exactly your location of where this is, let's bring up Storm Shield 9. Let's kind of switch these out here, control room. Let's switch these boxes. Again, that's weakening. It's just north of Surreal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then again 2 miles east, or it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 miles northwest of Cement, 4 miles northwest of Cement. That's where it just produced another tornado. It's headed northeast, and right now, if I'm living in Chickasha, or if I have any interest in Chickasha or family in Chickasha, I'm calling them and I'm telling them there's been at least 2 or 3, if not 4 tornadoes on the ground in eastern and southeastern Caddo County that will come into western and southwestern Grady County. There's Verdon, there's Cement, there's Chickasha, and again, this is moving east-northeast now. Chickasha, you are in the line of fire. Okay, you're in the line of fire down in Chickasha. All right, let's go to Pathfinder to storm track on this. Go ahead.
Another storm, Severe, Blaine, and Major County also rotating.
Okay, who do we got? Marty on that or Val? Both of them?
Yes.
Okay, all right, and we'll back out here in just a second. Okay, so This thing has produced multiple fairly weak tornadoes so far. Here's Anadarko. There's cement circulation now, but south of Anadarko, nothing for you as far as right now. It's just going to be wind and hail in Anadarko. The tornado threat is about 6 miles to your south. This has, again, produced, I'm looking at Jim's shot, no tornado on the ground right now. No tornado on the ground. It's moving off to the northeast. If you live in Verdon, you need to go to your safe spot right now. You need to get ready. This tornado is going to be, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 miles southwest of Verdon. It's moving northeast at about 35 miles per hour. That'll be in your neighborhood in about 15 to 20 minutes, okay? It's coming towards Verdon, all right? It's going to pass on top or just between Verdon and Chickasha. All right, the hook is the whole storm will pass over Verdon and Chickasha, but the tornadic part of this storm, the serious part of this storm, is right back in here, and that's the area that we're concerned about. All right, this is going to produce maybe golf ball, maybe baseball size hail. All right, it's got some large hail in it on the north sides of where the tornado is, at least baseball size. But more importantly, where the tornado is, it's heading towards Verdon, it's headed towards Amber, and right now, again, Chickasha, if it makes a right, guys, let's loop this here. Let's go ahead and loop this and get a closer shot of what's going on, okay? We can put this in a movie mode. Has it made a right turn? It's kind of hard to tell. It's not moving near as much north as it was. Yeah, well, what's the speed on this now? I think 20? It's come way down. Oh, man, look at Jim's shot. Wow. Okay, good idea. That's Kelly Ogle at the desk over there. Great idea, Kelly. Hey, let's go back to Jim's shot. There's where the signature is right there. Look at this, folks. Okay, now, this has me a little worried, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. The wall cloud is much more wedge-shaped than what it was. It's much wider now. And see this cigar cloud, we call it, on the north side? That's being pulled in. It's about ready to put down another tornado. This will be the third event of this storm so far. All right? This is being pulled in. This is rain-cooled air on the right side being pulled back in. All right, rain-cooled air here being pulled back in, back into the warm air. You're getting condensate. This whole thing is spinning. And look at this little collar up in here. See that little collar? Anytime you see something like that, that's fairly substantial. It's a fairly intense wall cloud, and it's getting stronger, and it's getting lower. All right, and we really got to watch this thing now. I'll tell you what, if you live in eastern Caddo County, if you live in Chickasha, western, southwestern Grady County, you got to go to your safe spot right now. All right, this thing is looking meaner. All right, let's get an update from Jim. Jim, I know you can hear me. You're looking right at it. Give us an update. Boy, that's probably the biggest wall cloud, Jim, we've had today so far. Go ahead.
Well, that's right, David. This is going to be the third in a series of small tornadoes here, but this one may be the big one here. Every time one of those small tornadoes dissipated, it moved up, jumped to the north, and this is the front of that wall cloud. As you can see now, you can see the circulation right above the cone right there. It is really wrapping up. Right now, I'm coming up on the town of Cement. I'm going to be just probably about 1 mile to the southwest of Cement here along the highway, tracking this thing. And like you said, David, this could be a real problem right here. You can see it just really trying to wrap up. It's really trying to generate. If this one generates, I think it's going to be a pretty sizable tornado, David. Jim Gardner live for Bob Mills, Sky News 9. Back to you.
Okay. All right, great job, Jim Gardner. And again, we have Tom and Rob on the ground. They're getting in a better position right there. And the wall cloud, the biggest it's been so far today. Again, this storm has produced several tornadoes already. They've been, luckily, they've been fairly weak so far, but the wall cloud continues to get stronger. And the hook on this, look at this spin right here going on. This whole thing, we really got to watch this. Okay, let's back out. Let's go back to Storm Shield 9 and talk about the storm up in Blaine County. All right, hang on. Let's back out of this quickly, but get ready. We're going to come back to that here in just a second. Let's go to Blaine County here, guys. Let's go take Storm Shield, go north. All right, here's Marty. Val's right here. Let's zoom into this. Canton Lake. It's over Southern right now. There's O'Keene. And that storm, once again, it's beginning to show signs of rotation. Marty Logan's going to come in on the north side of that. And, again, it's going to pass east of Fairview. It's going to pass east of Fairview. But this storm eventually could produce a tornado. All right, right now it is severe. Winds in here, golf ball size hail. Winds in here 60-plus miles per hour. Quarter golf ball size hail. Might even have some baseball size hail out of that, but at least quarters and golf ball size hail for sure. Headed towards O'Keene. You folks in O'Keene, you folks in Ames, you folks in Drummond, get ready. Moving northeast at about 30 miles per hour. Okay, let's go back down to southern Oklahoma. 2 storms in the state right now that are of concern. Okay, 2 storms, and this is the one that means business. Folks, If you ever want to see what a hook looks like on radar, that's what a hook looks like. Look at that. It doesn't get any more impressive with that. That's the most impressive hook we've seen so far today. Chickasha, get ready. Go to your safe spot. Tornado warning now for Grady County. Tornado warning for eastern and southeastern Caddo County. If you live in Gracemont, Binger, Apache, don't worry about it. You're fine. Gracemont, you're fine. Binger, you're fine right now. Minco, we're going to keep an eye on Minco. You're probably a little far north, but we're going to keep an eye on it up here. Here's Middleburg, Chickasha, Amber. If you live from Chickasha back to Verdon, you got to go to your safe spot right now. Tornado warning continues. That's the lowest level of your house. That's the center part of your house, interior closet, interior bathroom, as this storm, again, bears down on you. Right now, it's just north of Cement. Okay, there's Surreal. It's just north of Cement. Look at the hook. Look at that impressive hook now wrapped up southwest of Verdon. Wow, that's what it looks like on radar. That's what it looks like on radar, and that's what it looks like from Jim Gardner's shot. Okay, let's go back to Jim's shot. Full screen, the next tornado going to the ground. And let's take Jim Gardner's shot. There it is. Jim, go ahead.
Well, that's right, David. Right now I'm southeast of the town of Cement here, shooting back to the northwest. You see it right there. There's a small rope tornado starting to form right underneath that huge wall cloud. Now, we've seen this several times before. You get a small tornado like this, and then it grows right into that wall cloud. As you pull back wide, I'll show you what we mean. Here you can see that wall cloud. You see the front edge of it right there. There's a small little finger tornado right there. That all could possibly come together, David, and then that drops that huge tornado on the ground. But again, as we go back in tight here, we'll see if it's on the ground right now. I'm starting to see a lot of rain, starting to rain wrap around that. You can see the rain curtains right there, but you definitely got a small tornado on the ground right there. Like I said, I'm moving up onto almost on the east side of Cement here, shooting back to the northwest.
Right.
So again, just a very impressive shot here for Bob Mills, Sky News 9, as we track this storm. It's starting to weaken a little bit, but you can see that this whole thing is starting to rotate. That whole wall cloud is turning there, David.
Right.
So again, this has got the potential to drop a really large tornado. There's a lot more cloud to ground lightning in front of this, heavy rain. So as it moves into the Chickasha area or whatever, you're not going to be able to see this. So you better take your storm precautions now, because this could turn into a massive tornado, David.
Yeah, you know, Jim, and we've been doing this together a long time, and just like you said, if I were tracking this on the ground today, if I were out chasing this tornado, I'd be a little concerned, just because of the width now of the lowering. It's very robust. It's thick.
But this storm is going to encounter more instability. It is likely going to encounter even more shear. Jonathan, what do you have?
In the last scan on radar, the velocities jumped up. They got very, very strong. And this is going to be to the west of Laverty. We'll get real specific here. From Laverty, the area of rotation, 7 miles due west of Laverty, gate-to-gate shear. The velocity, again, has really started to tighten up. I'm going to back the radar up here. That's the last scan. Here's the current scan. You can clearly see the difference in the velocities. Again, the green, that's moving that way. The reds are moving away. That's the area of rotation, again, about 7 miles west of Laverty. You can see that on the radar. On the left, Sky 5 on it, cone funnel with wrapping curtains of rain right now. This is, again, a supercell storm tracking to the northeast at about 25 miles an hour. We're going to put a storm track on this so everyone can see the estimated time of arrival when it comes through. For the area of rotation where the tornado is going to be, we're going to kind of do a broad brush here. There it is. And we'll say coming into Chickasha here at 25 miles an hour at 3:47. So it's not super fast right now, but you have about 20 to 30 minutes to take your tornado action plan for Chickasha. Again, tight circulation. It's increasing. Sky 5 on the left. You can see the area rotation's real tight there, Damon.
Yeah, Jonathan, and certainly this storm, I mean, you can see this storm developed just north of Lawton, but right here. I mean, this is that inflow. This is the hook echo that we talk about all the time with tornadoes. Large hail within this. What this means, if this storm starts to turn more to the right, that's going to spell some serious trouble, especially between Vernon, Laverty, Norge, and Chickasha. So all of us right here, we need to be going into a tornado shelter. If you don't have a tornado shelter, innermost room, away from windows. But this right here, that is a very tight hook that is within the storm. Winds are feeding into this. large hail falling with this storm as well, easily getting up to around golf ball size. We do want to once again reemphasize that Chickasha schools are keeping their kids in school right now. That's a report that we just had coming in. You can see Chickasha officially in this tornado warning, and this storm moving up to the northeast means that we're going to have to watch it pretty closely here in Oklahoma City as well. When you see that red and that green fairly tight together, that is going to certainly be a very concerning image, as that storm certainly means that we are seeing the rotation within this storm. So this is a tornado warning right now. This is a tornado warning. It continues. Looks like the storm is likely going to stay south of Anadarko. The storm is likely going to stay south of Anadarko, but now is moving more to the right. That means that Chickasha, you are going to be in the path of this storm, and same thing with Vernon, the community of Vernon. So right now, Cement, this storm is staying just north of you, so this is going to stay just north of Cement. But certainly, we're going to have some areas. It's going to be some rather rural land, and then it will likely encounter again the community of Vernon and the the community of Chickasha. All right, who do we have on the phone right now? Perry Winslow. All right. Perry, all right, I want to bring Perry Winslow into this right now. Perry, what do you have for us this afternoon?
Right now we got the rotation, and we definitely do have a lowering at this time, but nothing is on the ground right now.
Perry, one of the things that we are really concerned about right now, we've been keeping a very close contact with the National Weather Service, is that this storm has the potential to produce something significant. Do you have all hands on deck right now with this storm?
Yes, that's affirmative, I do.
All right, that's a very smart move. We're going to continue to keep in close contact with you, Perry. I am praying for the best for y'all this afternoon, that this is not going to be anything that's going to lead to a very long day for you, but certainly we know this is May, this is Oklahoma, and these type of storms certainly develop. This is the peak of our tornado season. So Perry, thank you very much for coming on. We're going to stay in touch with you, but again, this is a tornado warning. This is a tornado warning right now. This is going to continue for at least the foreseeable future, because this storm, Jonathan, this is getting even stronger, Jonathan. And look at that large hail coming within this. This right here, this is going to be the area that we've been looking at with Sky 5. Okay, we've been looking at this picture from Sky 5. This is where the tornado is going to be, where that circulation is tightest. Fortunately, here's Anadarko, so we're staying south. We're going to stay south of Anadarko. Anadarko, this is now turning to the right, Jonathan. This storm is now turning more to the right. That means this is going to put more Chickasha in play. This storm is going to put more Chickasha in play, and before the day is over, this storm will produce a very large tornado. We are hoping it's going to stay over rural land, but we know how this time of the year is, so make sure that everyone is treating the storm as a very serious situation, and even outside of the tornado warning, as it's turning more to the right, place like Tabler, Ninica, Alec, anyone that's going to be, especially in south parts of the Oklahoma City metro, you need to be watching this very closely. You know, we are going to be staying on. We're not going anywhere this afternoon. We are staying on with this storm, because this storm is certainly getting even stronger. This tornado warning is going to likely continue for a while. It's probably going to go at least for the rest of the afternoon here, but you can see that rotation just west of Laverty. If it turns more to the right, it's going to take it into Laverty, Norge, Chickasha. Wow, right there, Jonathan. That last radar scan really just peaked up.
Yeah, it's tighter, but it's not as strong. This supercell thunderstorm will continue to cycle. Again, the inflow coming into it really good. And this, again, isn't the only storm. We have Sky 5 on it. Brad Souter intercepting it now. Chance Cold Iron is on the backside. All our guys are on it. We're watching Sky 5. If you're watching our coverage right now, Sky 5 is the lower left-hand corner, and we're looking for, and you see the strut coming in. Sky 5's doing a little turn there, and we're looking for the condensation vortice. But one thing I was saying is that this is not the only rotating thunderstorm in the state right now. We have another thunderstorm we really got to watch, is the one up near Blaine County, and Corey Inman is up on this storm, and I'm watching his stream right now on the side, and there is a wall cloud with some rotation. There's a little and you can see his stream is on the upper left-hand corner of your television. And we'll bring Corey Inman up here in just a second when he's ready. But again, multiple storms, 2 storms. And Corey, do we have Corey online right now? No, we don't have Corey yet. Corey is just to the west of O'Keene, south of Homestead, and he is on State Highway 51 right behind that storm as it's tracking to the northeast towards Isabella and Ames. Corey Inman, we have your stream up right now. We're tracking you right now on First Alert Doppler 3D. What do you see with that storm right there? It looks like it has a rotating wall cloud. I can't tell if that's a funnel on the left-hand side.
Yeah, Jonathan, we're about 7 miles to the west of O'Keene on Highway 51, looking back to the northeast. This lowering is should go just to the north of O'Keene. It is rotating. There's been a funnel a couple of times. Nothing really solid hanging together. It'll form a funnel, it'll fall apart, and then try to reorganize again. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Corey. So Corey's on the storm near O'Keene, had a couple funnels. It's going through a cycle on radar. It does not look nearly as strong, Damon, as the storm that's down in the Chickasha area. That storm definitely much stronger, still really strong hook, and it looks like it's going through a cycle right now.
Yeah, Vernon, they're keeping the kids in school right there, but this is going to be that area, that circulation right here. As these storms turn more to the right, they become stronger, and that is what's happening right now with the storm. What that means that the rotation within this, here's going to be the hook, rain getting wrapped up into this. More than likely, this is gonna take it into a track, and it's gonna eventually take it just pretty close to Chickasha, way too close for comfort. Chickasha, Tabler, Ninnekah, and eventually into eastern parts here of Grady County. So if we continue this track to the east here, this is going to eventually take it into Chickasha, Tabler, and if it continues, because it's only 3:30 in the afternoon, into Dibble. Meteorologist Brad Souter, we have you live on the phone right now. Brad, where are you and what are you seeing?
East, southwest of Chickasha right now, and we are seeing this funnel right now. Definitely a lowering on this. Damon, I do not see any condensation indicate a funnel cloud, but Damon, we were just driving through Chickasha. There are people walking around just like it's just a normal day in Chickasha. So folks in Chickasha, look out your window if you're not in your shelter right now and tell people, hey, possible tornado coming, get in shelter. People are just walking around, looks like everyday business. And Damon, as we're watching here, it looks like there's definitely a funnel cloud, possibly 2 areas watching in our stream there, but I'm not seeing anything on the ground at this point.
All right, well, Brad, this storm is turning hard to the right, and as we know, when those storms do that out here, that's going to spell trouble. All right, let's go back over to Sky 5. I want to continue to keep Sky 5's picture up, because right now Sky 5 has what's likely going to be the best picture this afternoon. You can see this entire storm is just rotating right now. It's only 3:30 now. That means that we still have, sun doesn't set until after 8 o'clock. That's when you start to lose some of that instability. So we have lots of afternoon hours to go through. And with all that still in place, this threat is going to continue for a very long time. This storm, it is by itself. That means that it's not competing. And so when you get these storms that are all by themselves, they can certainly use all the instability that's available, and there's a lot of instability in there right now. Let's go to Weather 7. I want to bring up Weather 7, Chance Cold Iron. He is caught in the middle of this hailstorm. Look at all this coming down right now. Is Chance on the phone right now? Chance, hey, Chance, how big is the hail where you are right now?
Most of it's golf ball size right now. There may be a few that are a little bigger, just sporadic, but right now we are about 2 miles west of Vernon on Highway 9. We're just now starting to get a little clearing here where we can possibly see the Minnesota and the lowering.
All right. With all that, it looks like what he was saying was golf ball size hail. Golf ball size hail. So, all right. Hey, for anyone that is going to be traveling across the Oklahoma City Metro this afternoon, there are going to be many billboards around town that will be alerting you of this tornado threat for Oklahoma City. It's a brand new policy that was put in place where the weather community is now working with these digital billboards. So you're going to see lots of those billboards this afternoon. If you have the opportunity, you know, certainly if you can stay at work until the storm threat is over, that will be a much better situation for you. One thing we don't want to have happen is have a lot of people out on the roads as the storm begins to move in towards eventually into the Oklahoma City metro. Hey, let's go back over to Sky 5 and the radar pictures. Go up with the 2-box because Sky 5, we're going to keep Sky 5 hot, but I also want to show the radar right now because we're starting to see a couple areas of inflow. Jonathan, I don't think we have just one tornado here anymore.
No. There's 2 areas of rotation, and let me go ahead and show them to you. I'm going to point them out. There's the original one. There's that one. Okay, that one's still pretty tight, and that's probably what Sky 5 is looking at on the left-hand side. New meso, or new area of rotation, likely trying to form on the east side. That's what happens with these storms. The original meso spins up, produces a funnel, drops a tornado, gets wrapped up in the storm. New area of circulation develops on the storm, and that's what we need to watch. So again, what Sky 5 is looking at is probably back here, about northwest of Laverty. And then we have to watch for new area circulation out on the front side of it. That's what I'm a little bit concerned about right now, because if the new meso dominates the overall circulation, it will be closer to Chickasha. That's what I'm worried about, Dan.
Yeah, certainly want to be very concerned about that. I'm worried about it just like you are. Hey, all afternoon activities for Norman have been canceled. That message just came down. All afternoon activities for Norman Public Schools have been canceled because of this storm right now, which is certainly showing quite a bit of rotation on radar. The storm has already produced a tornado, and that threat will continue, especially as it continues to make its way now into western parts of Grady County. So eastern Caddo County, western Grado County, and hey, let's pop up. Looks like more hail now coming in. Weather 7, chance cold iron. You can see the hail bouncing off of his car hood right there. Again, he was telling us about golf ball size hail right there. Chance, we have you live on the phone. I know it's going to be loud. How big are those hailstones?
Damon, it got a little bit smaller. I think the hail cores moved just a little bit east of me, a wrap around the hood. And that's sporadically spitting out some golf balls right now. Looks like radar circulation maybe about 3 miles southwest. I'm not exactly sure. Did you answer that for me?
All right, we'll get Chance back on. You know, he is in the heart of this storm right now, and you can see just those chunks of ice falling down. That will do some damage to your cars. All right, we'll continue to keep Chance's picture up, but Sky 5 continues to show this entire storm just spinning, and there's going to be a couple areas of rotation that we're seeing. Certainly, that's going to be one right there just southwest of Vernon, and then here's going to be another area of rotation just north of Laverty. But Chickasha, I know they're keeping the kids in the schools right now with this storm as it continues to make its way right down Route 62 between Anadarko and Chickasha. If you know anyone that takes this route this time of the afternoon, tell them to stay put. Again, you want to make sure that they are staying put. You can see that storm, certainly here's the hook echo within this, but we know that this tornado threat is going to continue even outside of this tornado warning. So right now, the warning, let's just go ahead and make sure that anyone from Chickasha and even eastern Grady County, that you are going to be headed into your tornado shelter as well, because this storm is not going to weaken anytime soon. This entire area is spinning. If we keep it on the present track up the turnpike, it's going to put it into Chickasha at 345, Pecasset, 359, Amber, a little after 4, and then that point there on the road, not really a whole much of a community, but sooner at 413. That's if it goes on this track. If it becomes stronger, it's going to turn more to the right. Hey, let's put Sky 5 back up as well. I want to make sure we have Sky 5 up because Sky 5 is showing that lowering. If this storm turns more to the right, which there's a pretty good chance that it will, then hey, Jonathan, let's put the storm track a little bit more to the east, northeast, and let's see when it's going to move into places like Blanchard, Dibble, and just south of Newcastle, because this storm certainly has the potential to become a right mover. When it does that, it becomes even stronger, and the likelihood that it will produce even a larger tornado than it already has will be increasing. So Chickasha, 347, Tabler, 403, Amber, 408, Middleburg at 418. That's if it continues to strengthen and turn more to the right. And you can see here is going to be Cleveland County. This is going to be the Canadian River here. So now we're getting even closer to the metro during the afternoon, 4, 5, 6 o'clock. those are going to be peak times of the day when we are seeing the commute gets even heavier, the roads become congested. What we do not want to have happen here is have a whole lot of cars on the highway as the storm is moving in. So if you can, stay where you are until this threat has passed us. But right now, this thunderstorm continues to show enough rotation, and the tornado warning is going to continue for at least a while longer, probably until about 5 o'clock, at least well after 5 o'clock.